Welcome to Monday Night Football, same game parlay presented by the Hammer.bet. Have you been to the Hammer.bet yet? No? What's wrong with you? You smash a like, you sub to this channel, then you head on over, after you watch, I suppose, to the Hammer.bet to get all of the most up-to-date betting info that you can use. Are you super casual? We got stuff for you. Are you the most intense analytic gambler of all time? Well, we got stuff up there for you too. Joining me today at Spreadopedia on Twitter, Jason. You don't like this game very much, do you?
Nah, it's I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna bet on it, but I'm not particularly excited about Danny Dimes versus Cooper Rush.
No, that happens from time to time. Let's jump over to DraftKings Sportsbook right now and check out what we got going for a same game parlay. Is there anywhere you like? Do you have I think the Cowboys are gonna win. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to lean Cowboys, but the market seems to kind of be bouncing back and forth between pick and one. So I don't see much of an edge either way. It's probably going to be one of those weird games with a lot of scoring in the fourth quarter in prime time.
Yeah, I always find this. I mean, it's more so on Thursday evening than it is on Monday evening that when you get like two. I mean, the Giants are 2-0, so I don't want to call them like an objectively bad team, but they seem bad when you watch them. That like short week, turnover prone quarterbacks. Like I hit the over. I mean, the over would have hit either way in the Thursday night game based on like the low, like 37 that it went off at. I was like, oh, I'll just go over that on Thursday night because these quarterbacks are horrible and they'll do something stupid. And they were generating easy short fields, leading to a bunch of points, even with good defenses. That I don't feel like it plays out as much on Monday night. But I think where I want to start with the same game parlay is click over onto same game parlay. Sacks, like over Dallas sacks, whatever it is, feels pretty good to me.
Yeah. Mike Parsons, if he plays with his arm down and is a rush end the whole game, over, he could do the over just by himself,
Yeah, should we put that at Dallas Cowboys sacks 3+ on DraftKings Sportsbook?
3+ plus 115.
Yeah,
works for me.
All right, we'll throw that on. Anything else that you want to look at? Michael Gallup is going to be back for this game, albeit unlimited snaps. We take a look at the receiving props. You can see like CeeDee Lamb has. I mean, they're not great, but you can get Michael Gallup unders. You can still get Noah Brown overs. How involved do you think Michael Gallup is going to be here?
Relatively. I mean, they're not activating him to not play him. I always explain to people, or when people ask, what do you think about this guy or that guy? I always say, like, Josh Gordon, for example, he's not active to play special teams for the Titans or whatever team he's on. He's on the Titans now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're active for an NFL game, you're not active just to be active. Everybody has a job, whether it's special teams or being on the field. Nobody's just active to sit on the bench and look cool. So if he's going to be, active tonight, he's going to be part of the game plan one way or the other. He might just not necessarily be on the field every play, or typically guys like this are on a snap count on their first game back.
So would that make you lean towards his over unders or a stay away?
Probably lean towards an under. If depends what the number is, but what are we looking at numbers wise?
For Michael Gallup, we can go, at different increments, we can go under 14.5, 24.5, 34.5, 44.5, 54.5 at varying degrees of juice.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up now. 34.5, 165.
Seems like a bit much.
Seems like a bit. Yeah. I'd have to look up what the projected, what the beat writers are saying about how many snaps he's expected to play. So I'd probably just pass on that.
Yeah. It doesn't look like we're getting Dalton Schultz in this either. So we might just see more Noah Brown than we expect anyway. He clearly has a rapport with Cooper Rush that you could either take the under 34.5 Michael Gallup receiving yards, or just play the Noah Brown 34.5 over at only -135.
Yeah. Do you know who I like? It's on the Giants, but you know who I like? I think has a really low over for his receptions or for receiving yards. Richie James.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's 30. What is that? 39.5 plus 115 coming off. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah, back-to-back games. He had 51 and 59 yards, and you're getting plus money on 39 here, 39.5.
when you try to construct your same game parlays, like, do you want to go with the 39.5 plus 115 or just go with the 29.5 minus 155 and give us some more leeway?
Well, it depends how deep you're getting into attempting to calculate the black box calculations of the same game parlay, because certain stuff correlated or whatnot will reduce the odds of the same game parlay. And when you're doing these, you have to know that you're probably not getting the full expected value the more legs you add. But if you're selective in what you're adding, and you're doing non-correlated stuff like Dallas Cowboys sacks and Richie James receiving yards, and you're picking off the good numbers, you can at least create value. I mean, just between the 3 sacks and Richie James, and if you add Tony Pollard as an anytime touchdown scorer, you get 12-1 already on a 3-team single game parlay, which is not bad.
No, it's not. Even if we do the 3+ sacks and Richie James over 39.5 receiving yards, we're at 350 already. Like plus,
yeah, and I think there's always, and especially because of social media, you don't see pictures of 3-leg single game parlays that pay 12-1 or 2 legs at 350. You don't see retweets about that. You see retweets about the guy who hit 15 legs for $500,000. So while those are cool, and I do want everybody to win those, sometimes exploiting the same game parlay engine just requires betting something at 3.5-1 as opposed to 100-1.
How, if I had to get you to guess a stat line on Zeke for this game, what would it be?
80 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I could see them running tonight with some injuries on the Giants D line, and just not them not being an elite defense all around. I could absolutely see a lot of running. I just tend to like Tony Pollard more price wise. You never seem to find value on Ezekiel Elliott anything.
I was gonna say Zeke unders are usually what I like to go with, because I think he's absolutely cooked.
Yeah, do they offer a rush plus receiving under, or is it rushing only?
Nah, it's rushing only. So you can go Pollard, alternate like progressive ladder rushing yards. You have like 35, 40, 45, 50, or 30 plus, which is for some reason at the bottom. Or you can do the Zeke over unders if you wanted to. Like you can go under 84 and a half rushing yards is minus 145 for him, which seems pretty good.
What about I guess Tony Pollard hasn't been huge in the receiving game. Looks like he's only had 6 receptions so far. I'm trying to see if I could see his targets real quick. I tend to think Pollard is more involved in the passing game than
yeah, that's sort of the expectation of what we think is going to happen, but it has not materialized that way yet.
Yeah, I have noticed that a little bit this year. Pulling up the guy's stats right now. Let's see.
So if we throw on Zeke under 84.5 rushing yards, we're now almost up to 7-1 with those 3 legs.
It's not bad. Let's see. Ezekiel Elliott. I got that here.
Oh no, sorry, that was Saquon Barkley. I should probably look at what I'm clicking on here.
Yeah, I see Ezekiel Elliott alternate. I see receiving yards.
Yeah, I see 84.5 for him is minus 370. That only gets up to minus 450. That's not something I want to. I don't want to throw a minus 370 onto this. So
understandable.
So do you think we can just ride with this 2 play, or should we try to find something else to throw on?
Well, what's interesting? Oh, there is the over under. Sorry, I had to take a look at that. I mean, I always like touchdown props. I was looking at touchdown props in the beginning. Let's see what else we can find here. I mentioned Tony Pollard. This guy, like, he's 240 on the same game parlay.
Yeah, that gets us to 12-1 right away.
Yeah, and I mean Richie James, he's 4.5-1. Sterling Shepard, actually, we should definitely add Sterling Shepard to this. If we had Sterling Shepard as 4th leg with Tony Pollard, it jumps to 45-1. Shepard had like 10 targets last week. He's coming back off an ACL injury, but he's very much part of the Giants offense now.
He is. Like, do you think it's better to play the plus 285 anytime touchdown, or just try to hammer one of his like progressive receiving props? Because you can get Sterling Shepard +3, +4, +5, +6 receptions. And I mean, +6 receptions is +175. I actually feel, I mean, the odds are going to tell me that +175, lower than +285 to score the touchdown. I mean, he got behind the defense week 1. That's not something he normally does. I just don't trust the Giants to throw for many touchdowns, to tell you the truth.
I think it's just a question of looking at the stats so far a little more in context. Because like I said, he got 10 targets week 2. He averaged like 5.7 yards a reception with a long of 12, on those 6 receptions and 10 targets. So he's getting the ball, but he hasn't done much with it. And granted, 2-game sample size is not a lot to go off of, especially when he had a 65-yard catch week 1. So we know he's capable of, stretching the field still. I could see more situations where he's on the field in the red zone scoring a touchdown than potentially, going over any of those yardage numbers.
I don't love that one. I think you could just play if I was going to play this Shepard and Pollard together, I'd probably just play them by themselves as a same game parlay rather than throw in the other stuff as well. Like I don't need a 45-1 to get my juices flowing. I think this 12-1 is pretty good. Pollard anytime, Richie James over, Dallas 3 or more touchdown or 3 or more sacks. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think the sacks one is it's pretty easy. I actually bet Micah Parsons most sacks in the NFL 10-1 this weekend before the games. I thought that was a pretty good price provided he's healthy and is rushing the quarterback 100% of the time, which he should be. There's no reason he should be playing coverage linebacker or anything. His job 100% of the time should be to sack the quarterback when he's on the field.
No, I completely agree. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do 12-1 DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Same game parlay. Dallas 3 or more sacks, or more than 3 sacks. Sorry. How is that 3+? Is it 3 or more, or is it more than 3?
3+. I believe that means 3 or more.
Okay, that's how I always read it too, but who knows with this sort of stuff. Over 39.5 Richie James Jr. receiving yards and Tony Pollard. Anytime touchdown, $100 pays $1,200. Yeah, 12-1. We're good to go on that. So you like that? You think we're good?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
All right.
For a game that I don't want to watch, I think that's 12-1. Can't really hate on that.
No, make the game exciting nonetheless. Smash like and sub to the channel. Go to thehammer.bet for more info. Jason and I will be back on Friday with the anytime touchdowns for week 4 on the weekend slate. Tune in then. I'm Pat Mayo.